Hi, folks. Steve Urban here from the Riderflex Podcast. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by two companies I'm deeply involved with. First up, Reliance, your trusted partner for nationwide robot maintenance and repair, specializing in humanoid and autonomous robots for homes and businesses. Visit roboreliance.com to learn more. And for all your home maintenance needs, there's Cura Home Maintenance of Colorado. From air duct cleaning to dryer vent cleaning to gutter cleanouts and much more. Check them out at curahomeservices.com. And finally, don't forget about the two books we've published in the Riderflex Guide series. The first being the Riderflex Guide, Inspiring and Hiring. This one is targeted at all types of managers and supervisors, anybody that interviews and hires people. And the second one, the Riderflex Guide 2.0, Mastering Job Interviews, designated to help all levels of job candidates prepare for and ace the interview. And now for today's episode. Please subscribe and enjoy. Where exactly are you? Do you mind sharing the name of it?
Buenos Aires.
No. You said outside of town, though. I didn't know.
Okay, yeah. It's a city. It's called Nordelta.
Okay.
It's like it's because we have a river called the Delta River, and this like small city is located in the north part of the Delta. That's why it's North Delta. It's a kind of saying in Spanish like north of the Delta, like Soho in New York. The same thing, but with in the north of the Delta River. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me about your life a little bit, your family, and mom, dad growing up. Give us some personal stuff.
Yeah, I'm 36 years old. I was born and raised here in Buenos Aires. I'm a software engineer. I grew up in a family of 5. I have 2 elder sisters. One of her is 5 years old more than me, and the other one 10 years old more than me. So I went to a technical school, and that's why I discovered this thing of computers, informatics, being a developer, and I literally fell in love with this profession. So after that, when I was 18, I got into the high school here in Argentina. You know that in Argentina, the university, we have like a public and free education in all the levels. But I went to a private school for the kindergarten, the primary school, and the high school.
Okay.
But regarding university, I went to a public and free one. So it was totally free. That's something really, really amazing here. So I graduated as a software engineer from the name of the university. It's UTN. And after that, while I was studying, I also started working as a developer in different kind of companies like agencies, software factories. The typical thing that every developer usually does.
Yeah.
And a couple of years later, I met my co-founder in one of our jobs, and he was the one who started saying, we should start doing something. So I will make a stop with that part of the story and come back to family. Right now I'm married with Karina. She's also from Buenos Aires, from Argentina. She's a recruiter, so she also works for companies right now she's working for a company in Mexico, but she used to work for a company in the States, another company in Ukraine. So you know that we are kind of similar from the type of work that we both do. I met her 15 or 16 years ago, long time ago. We got married 10 years ago. Now we have 2 children. The eldest one is Homero, because we really love The Simpsons. I don't know if The Simpsons is pretty popular there.
Okay.
So that's why we named him Homero. It's like Homer
Okay.
it
All
will
right.
be in English, but in Argentina it's Homero. He's 6 years old. And we also have a Kala, who is 2 years old.
Okay. All right.
Both.
Very, very good. Does your wife speak Russian?
Russian? No.
You said she worked for a company in Ukraine. I didn't know if she spoke other languages too.
No, no, no. She speaks Spanish and English.
Yeah.
The company was in Ukraine, but the CEO was in LA, I think, or San
Oh, I see.
Francisco.
I see.
So she used to work a lot. It was a gaming studio. She used to work a lot with people in Ukraine, but always in English. You know that English is the
Yeah.
universal language.
Yeah. Yeah. But in Argentina, when you're in town, everybody's speaking Spanish, aren't they, most of the time? Or no?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But everybody there knows how to speak both for the most part.
Yeah, I would say that all the people that are professional people and work in my industry or
Mm.
different marketing, sales, like any industry that could work for abroad, we all speak English because we grew up knowing that it was a must to know how to speak this language.
Mm.
But the national language is Spanish, and if you go to a restaurant, probably I mean, half and half. Maybe you will find someone who knows how to speak Spanish and someone who doesn't.
I see. All
But
right.
regarding like professional people, most of them speak English.
How are things in Argentina right now? Are they good? Is the economy good? Like, what's the latest? I don't know.
That's a big question. You know that it's getting better because last January, not this one, the other one, the previous one, we had like 28 or 29% of inflation only in 1 month, only 1 month. And this last January, we had 1.5. So it's much better if you see the numbers. But the thing is that the economy is still a little bit slow, trying to recover.
Mm.
Imagine that in 2023, yeah, we had like 300% in the whole year of inflation. So
Wow.
that's
Wow.
that's a lot.
Wow.
Um,
What do most people do? What's the primary profession, or what are some of the big professions there? You know what I mean?
um, I don't know exactly. I mean, if I have to be like thinking about numbers and statistics, I'm not sure, but probably lawyers, accountants, architects,
I see. Oh,
doctors. I think
okay.
that the university that has the most amount of students probably is the for being a lawyer.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And what do Argentinians think of Americans right now? Do you want to answer that one?
Well, now you mean because of the World Cup?
Just in general, what's the feel, right? And by the way, for the audience, we're recording this on February 5th, 2025. What's the general feel right now? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it good? What's the vibe?
Yeah, it's positive. Yeah, it's positive.
Okay.
But you know, it's a country that has like many amazing things. I know the people, the culture, food, drink. You will find even there are so many places in Buenos Aires that are pretty similar to Paris
Really? Oh,
because we have like lots of influence from Europe, from
right.
Italy, from
Right.
from Paris,
Yeah.
France in general. But the dark side of the moon, I would say, is that you have like 40 or 45% of the population that it's poor.
Really?
And
Okay.
that's the big challenge that
Mm,
we have as a country.
mm,
And this guy, this new president Milei, has as a new president. It will be difficult to change that situation. I would say that it's impossible to change that in 4 years. The president's period here is 4 years, the same that in the States. And we also have like twice. I mean, you can be president more than twice.
I see. Same rules. Okay.
Um,
All right.
yeah,
Mm,
but yeah, that's the main challenge that we have. But I would say that in general, we have like a positive feeling that some things are getting better, but we still have a big challenge.
okay. All right. Very good. When you go on vacation, where do you go?
I usually now, a couple of years ago, I used to go to Europe. I really love Europe for
Okay.
going on vacation. But since I have the children, we usually go to Mexico or Miami, Disney. This year we are going to Brazil. Next week I'm going to Brazil, to Rio de Janeiro. It will
Oh,
be my first time.
all right.
It's much closer to Buenos Aires. It's like a 3 hours flight, something like that.
I see.
Against
I see.
Mexico, that it's 8 hours, 9 hours. Same than Miami.
Another question, geography question. On the west side, on the Chile side, is it that's not a place to go for the coastline is not great, or I have no idea.
It's very cold, the coast in Chile. If you
Ah,
go to Viña del Mar, which is the most famous like beach in Chile, it's really cold because it's the Pacific.
I see.
We don't have amazing coast. I mean, we have a nice coast, but the water is it's cold
I
because
see.
it's the Atlantic.
Okay.
So the best, if you want to come to Argentina, the best part is Buenos Aires. Also, you have Mendoza, that is next to Santiago de Chile. And if you like red wine or wine in general, Mendoza is the province where, I don't know, 90% of the wine of Argentina is made. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. The city, the little towns, the landscapes, the wine, the food, the people. Mendoza is one of my favorite cities in Argentina. And you also have the north part, like next to Bolivia, the Patagonia, which is probably the most famous part of Argentina. You have Ushuaia, Bariloche, Calafate, like many cities that are really well known. And you also have the Iguazu Falls in the east, next to Brazil.
Okay.
So it's a big country. If you want to come and visit all like the top 5 cities to go in Buenos Aires, you will probably need a month.
That's cool. I'd like to get down there sometime. Do you play music? I see a guitar.
Yeah, I play the guitar.
Oh, all right.
I also play the bass. I have that bass because I'm a big fan of the Beatles.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for Beatles fan, that's the same model that Paul McCartney used. Even nowadays, I mean, I went to see his show in Buenos Aires and in Cordoba, which is a province in Argentina, in October, and he's still using that bass.
How about that? How
So
about that? Uh,
it was amazing.
I got to see
It-
Paul. I got to see Paul McCartney in a store one time. He was shopping. He was.
wow.
He was. This is a long time ago, back when we had music stores where you had to go buy CDs and things, before downloading started. So this would
In the
be,
90s.
yeah, it's the early '90s, yeah. And he was at the music store. He was at the music store buying music, looking through the music thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
And you saw him, like it was next
walked
to
right,
you.
walked right past him. He had one big security guard with him. One he only had one guy. This is in New York, where people in New York, they're kind of like they see famous people all the time, so they don't really care. And he had one big guy, and his car was right out front, kind of illegally parked a little. Well, parked
Yeah,
where it shouldn't be.
they
And
can do it.
well, the reason I even brought this up, interesting Paul McCartney story. It's when you meet famous people that have been famous for that long, or you see them, they have this peripheral like it's almost like they're not they don't look at you, but they can see you looking at them.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
And he had that feeling like you could definitely tell. He's like, okay, I see that you see me. I know that you know who I am. Please don't bother me. I just want to shop for my music. Like that was like he wasn't being an asshole or anything, but you could just feel
And
like
what did you do?
I didn't approach him. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no. I didn't because I was just like, "Ugh, what am I gonna? Am I gonna be one of those guys?" Like I was like, yeah. So
Yeah, same. I mean, I think that if I see Paul McCartney like face to face, I would say something because it's Paul McCartney. But in general, when I know I'm not like a big famous people recognizer,
yeah.
but I remember a couple of a month ago, I met a famous actor here in Argentina at the gym.
Okay.
And I did nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I'm at the gym. This guy is at the gym. He's just trying to train, and he doesn't want people to
Right.
get with him and say, "Hey, can I take a picture?" So yeah, I try to avoid that. But with Paul, you know that it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Well, hey, thanks for sharing the personal stuff with me. Thank you. I like on the show, I like for the listeners to get a feel for the human side, before we get into business.
Yeah.
So tell me about business. So give us the overview real quick, and for the listeners, Braintly, it's Braintly.com, Braintly.com. Tell us about the company, and then I'll ask you a bunch of questions. Go for it. Give us the overview.
Cool. Well, we define ourselves as a software development company. And right now, we are helping companies in the US to build their engineering teams in Latin America. So most of the times, our clients come with a thought about, okay, should I start hiring people in Latin America because of the time zone, because of the cost efficient, because of the culture? And we help them and take them through that path of understanding Latin America, helping them hire that team. It's not I think you are in the recruiting industry. It's not recruiting per se because we are a software development company, so we recruit those engineers for them and assign them to the projects, and after that we help them go through that management, helping them with the payments, keeping the developers happy. You know that developers are really, really weird kind of people. I used to be one of them. So we have been doing this for more than 15 years, so we know how to deal with them. Um, Going back to the past, we started also as a marketing agency
Oh,
many years ago, but then we realized that we were really bad doing marketing and really good doing engineering things, engineering stuff.
okay.
So
All right.
that's why we ended up deciding, okay, let's focus on engineering. This is the thing that we really know how to do. That was something that really changed the business for us.
Are you the employer of record? I mean, they're your the engineers are your employees. The employees are housed in your entity down there. Is that how that works?
Yeah, we have our legal entity in this. So our clients are paying and hiring an American company, but we also have our company here in Argentina. So we hire all the people, most of the times in Argentina, but sometimes we work also with people in Mexico, Uruguay,
Okay.
Chile, Colombia.
Okay.
But most of the people are from Argentina because it's part of our network. So we know even better how to recruit them, how to retain
Yep.
them.
Yep.
And that's a big part too, knowing
Okay.
knowing how to retain them, not only hire them, but also after that, keeping them happy.
Right. What type of software engineers do you house, and who's your typical client? What's the typical project length? Stuff like that.
Yeah. The stack that we usually assign to our clients are full stacks developers
Okay.
or backend developers. But for instance, we have a client that a year ago came to us for a Unity developer, and we told him, okay, we will get it for you. And it's a funny story because he told us, okay, good luck, because I've been looking for this person for a year and I can't find him. And we did it in 3 weeks.
How about that?
So it
Wow.
was okay. Here you have,
Uh,
and he fell in love with this guy. And our ideal client is a small and medium-sized business in the US. Let's say some company between 20 and 100 people.
okay.
Most of the times, we also work with some startups, and we also work with some bigger companies. But our ideal or sweet spot It's between 20 and 80 employees, I would say.
Okay.
And that's because they are in the right moment to start like making their engineering team growth, most of the times with some people in-house, but they want to make it grow faster and cheaper. And that's the moment where they start thinking, okay, I have my core IT team in-house. Now it's time to empower that team with people all around the world, or
Yeah.
especially in Latin America.
Yeah. Um, are they usually hiring? Are they usually coming to you for a temporary flex up period because they're on a project or they're trying to implement something new and then they turn you off because they're done, or do they keep you long term, or a little bit of both?
Most of the times it's long-term commitment, because it's not because they are trying to make a specific project. They
Oh,
are trying to empower their team,
I see.
and augment their teams in Latin America. But we also have some cases that they say, hey, we have in mind that this project will be for a year.
Okay.
And if it's something between 6 months and a year, it makes sense for us. If they need something like, okay, I need this person only for 1 month, it's something that we don't do, because we understand that it's part of our culture, not being like changing people between projects all the time. And also the developers need some time to onboard the platform, the technology, the business. So
Yep.
that's also a big part of the thing.
How many how many engineers are you housing on a regular basis?
Between 25 and 35.
Okay. All right, very good. And then do you have support team? You got like a small administrative team? Probably not huge. I don't know. How about
One person. We are super efficient when it comes to cost. We are three founders.
Okay.
Now we also have a partner living in New York.
Okay.
It's a person that I met almost 12 years ago. Then she was a client of us with a startup that she co-founded.
Mm.
And a couple of years later, she didn't raise money. She closed her company, and that was the time where I went to her and told her, "Hey, you should join us as a partner. You live in the States. It's something. It's a big milestone for a company in Argentina having someone living there,
Uh,
because
uh,
it's not only that we have our company there, we also have a real human being living in
yes.
the States.
That's
So
nice.
if you
That's
want
nice.
to go there and yell at her, you can. Um,
Is everybody remote? 100% remote? Everybody's remote?
yeah,
Yeah.
we have like a working space here. So every now and then we create like some space, some like team meeting, but developers don't want to go to the office.
Yeah. You keep your overhead expenses low, obviously.
Yeah, that's
Eh?
the secret.
Yeah, it's the secret, man. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. Any particular industry that you're targeting, or would you call yourself a generalist and you take care of everybody, or what?
Um, I would say that we are generalists, but most of our clients are in healthcare,
Oh,
fintech, and e-commerce.
okay.
Most of them, but I think it's because that most of our clients comes from referrals. So you
I see.
know that if you start working with a fintech, probably it's like the probability says that it will probably refer to you someone in fintech. That's why. But we are pretty agnostic to industry.
Good to be tied into healthcare. I mean, that's one of the areas that definitely still growing, always needs people. I mean,
Yeah,
always short staffed. It's
yeah.
interesting. I think it's generally the last 24 months have not been super great for recruiters across the board as a big picture goes. But healthcare, if you're a healthcare recruiter, yeah, you're doing okay because they're always short staffed over there.
Yeah, you know that from the founder's point of view, we founded the company in 2012, and we grew and grew until 2033, where we had like a big shock because most of our startups died.
Yeah.
And so we had to lay off people. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And not feeling alone and having this chance of talking with other founders, that the thing that you are saying.
Yeah.
The 23 and
23,
24
24, it
were
sucked. It sucked.
yeah, were two like really difficult years for the industry in general.
Oh, no
So
doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
no, yeah,
2024 has been tougher on recruiters than, most recruiters. A lot of people had to go do something else. They just, yeah, it sucked. What do you well, that kind of leads us down to the economic discussion. What do you think? You think 2025? How are you feeling? What do you I'm still kind of holding my breath. I don't know for sure. What do you
I like because we started talking about Milei or presidents, and now we are going now you know that they are like best friends.
Yeah.
Trump always said Milei is a kind of like a big inspiration for him,
Yeah.
and Milei says the same about Trump.
Yeah.
Despite the Trump thing, I truly believe that this year will be much better
Okay.
because of one big thing. Most of the startups that raised money in the 21 or the 22 spend their money along the 22, 23, 24. So the ones who are still alive, those are alive because they found the product market fit and because they are doing something that makes sense. At least they have revenue, they have profit. Maybe they are not in break even, but they have profit. So that's why I think that this year
Okay.
it will be better.
Okay.
And those startups will be able to raise money again, probably not at the same valuations that during COVID, that
Yeah.
those valuations were insane.
Yeah.
But not only that, on the other hand, small and medium-sized businesses will, I think this year, the recovery after COVID will be like 100%.
Okay.
So I truly believe that this will be an amazing year.
Okay.
We don't have to compare it against the 22 or 21
Yeah.
because
Good point.
we are both in
Yeah.
similar industries.
Yeah.
I remember in the 21 startups coming over saying, "Hey, I just raised $2 million with a PowerPoint. I want 5 developers."
Somebody
And every,
told me like, hey man, if you didn't make money as a recruiter in 21 and 22, then you probably shouldn't be in the business because everybody made money then.
that's true.
What do you
That's really true.
what do you think? Speaking of more predictions, what about the AI? What about the AI effect? Do you worry about job transition and elimination and the advancement of technology, especially as it relates to, well, both of our worlds, recruiting and engineers? I'm sure you seem like a smart guy and you seem like you stay up on what's going on. So I'm guessing you're watching very closely what's happening with the AI stuff. Are you nervous? Are you worried? Do you think it's going to be fine? What are your thoughts, Roger?
I'm not nervous. I think that everything will be fine because it's like thinking that because someone created computers and Excel, accountants were going to disappear.
Yeah.
I think that people that don't understand that they need to change the way that they work because of AI will disappear. So if we set the focus over developers, we are using AI to
Yeah.
improve the development cycles because otherwise we will die.
Yep.
So I think that the most crucial thing probably is how they start their career as a developers,
Okay.
because junior developers probably will be replaced by AI. But the thing is that if you don't have junior developers, you will never have a senior developer. So that's where I see that we may have a problem in a couple of years. But the positive thing about this is that developers that know how to think will gain like over the ones who don't know how to think. You know that with AI, you can write code. Everyone, my grandma can write code, but like writing code, it's not only about writing code. It's also about thinking and problem
Creative.
solving.
Yeah, the creative and the
So,
problem solving. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So when you start like pushing the AI barriers and start looking at the problems that you're trying to solve with ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot, wherever, uh, AI doesn't have the like the critical thinking and the sense of the business uh, problems, you know. So I think that if you are a developer or a professional in general that think and understand all the actors of the environment. I mean, the users, the client, the sponsor, the business, everything. So you don't have to be like worry about AI. But if you are only like making copycat, like trying to do things with ChatGPT, well, you will probably uh, be replaced soon.
Interesting. You're right. You know, I hadn't thought of the way you said it. I have had people say, yeah, junior level, tactical, lower to mid-level software engineers, a lot of those guys might be replaced because AI can do it. But to your point, okay, well, you got to be junior or mid before you can be senior. So that's gonna so interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it that way. Well, I know what, it's a fascinating time to be alive with this technology, isn't it? It's just it's
Yeah.
just it's fascinating. Every day I mean every week, hell, I can't even keep up, Roger. I mean, every other day there's a new launch on something. I'm like, well, shit, I'm just now learning how to use what came out last week. I got now something new this week.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I was not using new things until AI came because I was not like writing code.
Yeah.
And you know that these things of trying new things, when you stop developing, it's harder to do. But now every day or every week I try like a new tool. We
Yep.
are using like AI tools for recruiting, for hiring, for making the technical interviews, then the assessments, the onboardings, the offboardings,
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of being testing new applications and not falling in love with one, because that application probably will disappear in a year, or
Yeah. Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah. Never know.
Um,
You never know. Well, to wrap up the AI conversation, I know this. Because I've got about 5 minutes left. I want to make sure I wrap up with talking about the company again. But yeah, there's so many different tools. Like I just want one agent. We'll call it an agent, right? I just want one agent that knows everything about me, that I can tell it what to do, and it just does stuff. Like I don't want 50 different apps. I just want one agent.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know that I used to use Claude and ChatGPT, and now I'm only using ChatGPT because of this. Because if you're using all the time both, it's difficult to get one of them learn about you, about your company, about the style
Yeah.
you write. The worst thing about AI is that right now, every time we see a post on LinkedIn or an email, I always think, okay, this was written with
I
AI.
know. Yeah, I totally. I mean,
And
I don't. Yeah, any videos, pictures. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
that's the bad thing. Yeah.
I totally agree. In fact, we could do a whole. Hey, you could come back on the podcast. We could do a whole 2 hours on this topic.
Happy to do that. Yeah.
Hey, wrapping up. Brantley, BRAINTLY.com. If you need software engineers at an affordable price, from a company with a great reputation, give Roger and his team a call, right? Just go to the website. Best thing to do, go there and just contact.
Yeah. In the website you will find ways of contacting me, or also on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active in LinkedIn, not writing with AI. Also a little help. So yeah, I'm pretty active in LinkedIn. So if people drop me a message in LinkedIn saying, "Hey, I heard you in the show,"
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Roger, thank you for sharing your story. Congratulations, by the way. Hey, what'd you say? 15 years, 12, 15 years?
Yeah, 13 years this
13 years.
year.
I mean, I- congrats. All right. I mean,
I was pretty young when I started.
yeah. I mean, it's hard. It is hard to run a business. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. We didn't even really get into that, but the fact that you've kept it alive this long, I mean, that's a major accomplishment. So, congrats, my friend. Very, very nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you too, and thank you so much for having me.